Jesus as a masculine man, or Jesus as a symbol or role model for masculinity. As you may know, there's a lot of talk these days, well, it's been for a while now, I guess, on the need for men stepping up, okay, men having aspirations, having goals, being driven, okay, especially in light of all the changes, the shifts, women being more independent, being more assertive, having their own goals and so on, and really the challenges that men in the West have when it comes to competing, okay, not only with each other, okay, but even against women, okay. I think recently there's some stats about women outdoing men in academia, right? Also in the workplace, okay? So it's not just about girls getting better qualifications or more degrees proportionately, but also outperforming men in the marketplace when it comes to income. I think women between the ages of 20 and 25, I think, a number of Western cities are earning more than men. Now, there are many factors that work into this. I mean, one of them, of course, is the propensity for young women to, use their sexuality, okay? But the fact remains that men aren't doing so well. In fact, the broader converse is now shifting, okay? Now, one of the things I've noticed within the Christian space, okay, is the emphasis on role models, critically to posit Christian examples, biblical examples, critically to present Christ himself as a role model for modern masculinity. Okay? The problem I have with this view is that it doesn't seem to add up. Okay, the deeper you go into this, if you look at it at a critical level, okay, Jesus Christ is not a good role model for masculinity at most levels. The ministry of Christ itself was an evangelical. Okay, it was built on spiritual activities and teachings about the kingdom. Okay, in other words, it was concerned about afterlife, not about things of this world. So when you think about it, Jesus Christ is not really a good role model. Okay, critically, when it comes to things like women, okay, Christ is a celibate. Okay. In the Bible, there is no reference to him having any relationships, okay? And that is supposed to be a good thing, okay? Because celibacy and chastity or virginity, or in this case, being, technically asexual, okay? That's the impression you get anyway. If you read scripture word for word, how is that supposed to be a good thing, okay? Especially when it comes to the modern world, one of the challenges that modern men have is when it comes to relating to women, okay? To live up to women's expectations, okay? To be able to attract women, okay? The whole thing about incels and men giving up and MGTOW, etc., men not being able to go out and meet women, get dates, get laid, okay? Christ doesn't really fit into any of those things. Christ never got married. Christ never had a girlfriend. Christ never had kids, okay? And all these are supposed to be good things, but are they? So my question is this: is Jesus Christ a good role model for men from a masculine perspective? And my answer is no. Christ was not a leader, a warrior, a fighter. He was not a businessman. He was not an entrepreneur. He was not an industrialist. He was not a artist in a sense, because he never wrote anything down. Okay, sure, he was the son of a carpenter, but even that never became a proper enterprise. Okay, he was more of a missionary. So yeah, help me out here, guys. How exactly is Christ supposed to be a role model for masculinity?